on today's episode, featured videos from...
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of the Supplemental Broadcast. I'm your host, Jess, aka Epitome the Burn Kid. Please be sure to follow the entire archival project for every video that Magic 8 Ball serves up to me at hashtag YouTube Recommended Chronicles on X and Tumblr for the latest videos, music, memes, and more. On to today's selections. First up on today's broadcast, we have a video from the channel Demand TV featuring one of Julie Green Ministries' prophetic words titled Shocking Shakeup. Julie receives prophetic words from God, and it is amazing how watching her prophecy is like getting the news before the news. I have been watching her for about a year now since my auspicious algorithm introduced me to her, sharing her gift with all of us online. And she is spot on with what the Lord is telling her is going to occur. Be sure to check her out. A few different YouTubers publish her broadcasts via their channels. So a multiple array of people use Julie Green for confirmation, and it's like she very much is like Daniel Scranton, except she's not channeling the Octorians. It's pretty amazing. Definitely go check that out. Second up today, and third actually too, is the channel Hawaii Real Estate, continuing their amazing work covering the Maui fires that struck Lahaina earlier this year. This story has not gotten the attention that it deserves, as something is clearly amiss surrounding the whole series of events. The first video I have is titled Maui Today. All content is monitored and censored live 24/7. You know, we've been covering the censorship industrial complex, and it's been hitting these guys pretty hard. So if you could like and share their videos and try to keep this in the spotlight, they really do need all the help you can get out there. Their other video that we have here is titled Perfect Crime or Perfect Storm, Burn Back Better. The fact that all content is being monitored and censored live 24/7, as displayed in the first title, it should be a clear red flag to anyone with the 411 on the current happenings worldwide that, this looks suspect. Perfect Crime or Perfect Storm is the title of their other video featured in today's lineup, and with the sketchy behavior of the local billionaires, the corrupt government, the people of Maui more than ever need our help keeping them visible, since the mainstream media is really trying to drown out this incident. We now have a fun entry here in slot number 4 with GB News Channel and the Dinosaur Hour. Join John Cleese on the most amazing set I have ever seen for a social commentary talk show. And it has some pretty awesome guests for some surprising talk about many of the things I bring up here on the supplemental broadcast. Card-playing nuns, pipe-drinking mobsters, and cute kittens, too. The show is pretty epic. Redacted is back in our lineup with the 5th selection this program. They go over the most recent lie being tossed around the mainstream of multiple Western countries, claiming that the WHO treaty, the WHO, does not compromise national sovereignty, when anyone who has read the official documents knows full well that it obliterates all signer sovereignty, permitting a NGO takeover of a nation's laws in the circumstance of another pandemic. Redacted brings the receipts to debunk the globalist deceptive practices, as they always do a great job over there on their channel. And last up on today's features, we have an entry by Do Dissidents on the topic of class privilege and anti-disinformation efforts that have been enacted on all of us in recent years. It's very clear that only the elite have a hand in this effort to suppress, subjugate, and stigmatize the masses of ordinary citizens who do not share any of their values or ideals. Citizens like myself resent and dissociate from such dystopian, draconian behavior practically from birth, but thankfully, more of the masses are awakening to the truth about who holds the power over what and why. None of that should have ever occurred to begin with. The beginning is nigh, my friends. Be sure to listen to this discussion for more details. Links for all our features are in the description box for everyone to check out. And now, as always, it's time for my auspicious monologue. Auspicious op-ed. Rock on. Okay, let's go. So, civil discourse, dissidence, and the value of compulsory punitive measures are concepts evolving and mutating before our very eyes at a rate I could have never imagined without experiencing the acceleration of events personally. The absolute confidence of the effectiveness of compliance to avert punitive measures, commonly misconstrued as some form of ethical virtue or social construct, is what drives the vast majority of legislation across the Western world. Without any form of input or recourse, the ordinary citizenry who supposedly have rights protecting their freedoms are nothing more than the victims of neo-slavery and mental side. We don't live in democracies for a very good reason. Read Plato's Republic for more on how it is a form of populist fascism via mob rule. We live in a constitutional republic to protect us from the dangers of autocracy, democracy, communism, theocracy, technocracy, oligarchy, allegedly, and most importantly, totalitarian authoritarianism of any flavor or persuasion. Doublespeak is everywhere, so stay keen to the manipulations and deception employed through the abuses of language and literacy found to be historically common in the methodology of all communist, socialist, and fascist authoritarians worldwide. Alleged wrongthink is running just as rampant in turn, fueled by the censorship initiatives of the elites through the lockstep conformity the professional managerial class prides themselves upon and eagerly arms themselves with a highly charismatic and equally false sense of virtue they choose to wield as shield, weapon, and one-up alike. Wrong speech is only possible when freedom of speech is lacking. While understanding and sincerity are only possible when freedom of speech is an inherent given that is quite literally required for logic to exist as valid, post-truth is the blatant dishonesty that led us here. Hurt feelings was the excuse, while anti-bullying was the catalyst to these artificial conditions and blatant dishonesty that set the tone for a collective of codependent, emotionally dependent, lesser narcissists. It's like predative parasitism. Is this the result of postmodernism or that of similar stigmatized philosophies? I would caution that pointing the finger in such a direction is unwise, as correlation is not equivocal to causation or association. I think it's much more important to look at whose voices rose to prominence as an influence, what their motives were, and that they all had the motives of a spoiled, rotten brat. The people who have been at the helm of all major civilizations have made it to where they are, by pleasing the desires and espousing the values of those they demand external validation from. The volatile and equally vile notions pursued are so foul that they cannot be enacted or upheld without a system of bureaucracy to circumvent the inevitable bloodshed that would ensue without such a buffer. When it is referred to as the beast system and you're warned about Babylon, let's think about what Antichrist actually means. Would Christ stand for a bunch of leaders who make the money changers at that temple back in like the Bible look like HR puffin stuff? No, I don't think so. Let's think about what Satan really means, which translates to great adversary or deceiver. When has a government not acted in a satanic, idolatrous, murderous way? Either literally or in hyperbole, every act of legislation I have learned about or experienced appears to be an act of tyranny, carefully disguised against the people. Anarchy is a societal construct that simply lacks a hierarchical structure. The common misuse of the word as some form of violent cataclysm is a prime example of the indoctrination and doublespeak that has perpetuated the devolution of language, culture, and civility. Anarchy is peaceful, so it should be fairly obvious that every authoritarian wants you to believe that it is a dangerous and violent condition. They then encourage the furthering of the lies and indoctrination that lead to broken communities, families, individuals, cultures, and promises. It is their power strategy and structure through and through that they are unable to think from other perspectives, it would seem, because other perspectives wouldn't hold such a power advantage. Without a hierarchy in place, the experts and authorities have no power to oppress at will. Without indoctrination, oppression, abuse, and coercion present, there is no groundwork to hold a hierarchical system in place or drive its dysfunctional operation and motivations. Fear anarchy. That's a trap if I ever heard of one, because anarchy is a peaceful existence where you have a society in which everyone is an equal to everyone else with no artificial power structure forced upon them, forced upon the citizenry as a whole in any way. Totalitarians rely on reducing and retarding everyone so that they might prevail. And I am here to blow the lid on all their plans I come across. Welcome to The Great Resist. That's our show for today. Brings us to our musical selection. Me, another Identity Transmissions Existential, so based. I got a link for you down in the description. Links to my Twitter, Tumblr, and SoundCloud are also in the description. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next show. Stay prepped, stay safe, be awesome, and get the word out. Have a great time.
I want to see everyone in the house getting dirty.